Hello, star lovelies. It's a great time to be a soul. Today we're talking about happy full moon. It is June 11th for the full moon, and it's early in the morning here Eastern time, so it's 3:46 a.m. So depending on where you are, it could say that it's Tuesday the 10th or Wednesday the 11th, but regardless, here we are in this full moon energy, and it is a big pull. It's always a big pull, but in this one, it's a little bit more of a big pull. And why? Well, there's a lot going on in the cosmos as always, and Jupiter has just left Gemini, where the sun is, and moved into Cancer just a few days before. And then we're awaiting with bated breath, not really, but we're awaiting Uranus's pass into Gemini. So the cosmos always give us a window that's open, then they give us a doorway that's open, and then they give us like the big, now we're in the house. And so that window is where we are right now in this full moon. The doorway was already open with Jupiter and Gemini, but Jupiter is out of Gemini now. So we don't have that big, huge energy in the sky saying, open your mind, take a different perspective, be able to handle duality, be able to handle like things not making sense. That has gone away for only a few weeks. And now here's the sun and the moon giving us a full moon, as it does in this signature every year. This one happens to be at 20 degrees, where we have the sun in Gemini and the moon in Sagittarius. So technically speaking, the full moon would be talked about as being the full moon in Sagittarius, because that's where the moon lies. I'm in all the Gemini energy right now. Like the Gemini energy just won't stop talking. And that's just the way that is. So when we're thinking about that Gemini is the sign that helps us accept things and not really get attached to them. Oh, so the sky is green. Perfect. Okay, maybe it is because the way the trees look, or everything's in full foliage right now. Or no, the sky is orange. Well, maybe it's because there's a sunrise or a sunset or whatever. Meanwhile, no, the person is literally legit saying, no, this sky is absolutely not blue. It happens to be green, and this is why. Or not. You don't even have to explain it. Or no, the sky is not blue. It is absolutely orange. And you know what? That's just the way it is. And then with the Gemini energy, it's like, maybe not. That's cool. So it gives us a fleet of foot. We're light, we're airy, we're kind of moving with things. We're not getting too tied down or too serious about them. So that's not a bad thing. It's just we've been living this at its heightened intensity. Because Jupiter's been here, we've been living this for a year, but now we're not. Now we're going into Jupiter bringing us the Cancerian energy, very heartfelt, deep connections, think emotional intelligence versus just the intelligence of acceptance of ideas. And so, cool, but it's a full moon. Let's not forget where we are. So that moon in Sagittarius is saying, yeah, great. It's a great idea. You want to jump off that bridge? Absolutely. Let's go. Not questioning anything. If we only had the sun and the moon in the sky for these 3 days, then we would all be doing the most cuckoo pants things, and we wouldn't even have any issue with it, because Gemini is all about, isn't this a great idea? Absolutely. And then Sagittarians is always, let's do it, without any sort of judgment or fear. So that's pretty cool, right? So yes, but let's just bring in some other planets here. Thank goodness we have them, or else we'd all be jumped off the cliff, because who cares? The other planets are pretty serious right now. There's some complications this week. We start the week with Jupiter moving into Cancer, and then we end the week with Jupiter squaring Saturn. And that's that third big star configuration that we started in August of last year. And okay, sure, we haven't had one since it was actually Christmas Eve. So it was December 24th when we had the last squaring off of these two planets, but they weren't in these signs. So Jupiter's newly in Cancer and Saturn is newly in Aries. So this gives us a whole big new feeling about it. I have got so much written about that in that June star powered planner that's on my website. Just go to kimwoods.com blog. It will be right there if you really want to read about it. I would suggest that because it's all about your grand vision and how to achieve your grand vision and how these planets are helping you. But here we are in a moon smack dab in the middle of these two energies. And we're again awaiting that Uranus moving into Gemini, which won't happen till July 7th. But this is a big, huge planet. We're feeling this already. But what is the element of this full moon? There are two that are really, I don't want to say serious, but give us that depth that the sun and the moon don't. Let's not make any mistake about it. The buoyancy that we're feeling is from the sun and the moon. The really good feeling that we're feeling is from Mercury and from Venus because they're just zooting each other up in the best possible way. So we're feeling really good. Great. And then we have Pluto squaring off with Venus saying, "You're not serious enough. You're not really stepped into your power. You're not really living true to yourself. You haven't really owned your original brilliance." I mean, poor Venus is like, "But I happen to be in my own sign of Taurus right now, so don't be all over me about that. We're looking good. We're feeling good. Don't yuck my yum." Pluto's like, "You know what? I'm not yucking your yum, but I'm going to make you be more of you, and you're going to like it." So that's what's going on with that. And then we have Neptune and Saturn are almost blended. They're not going to fully reach their blending until February 20th of 2026, but they're not even a degree apart. They are so close together, and this feels new. And so when we're looking at the news and we're watching things unfold, we're starting to get more opening around what the truth is. And so Neptune still can gloss that over and be like, "Meh, it doesn't really matter." The analogy I always love to give, the poor dude in the van that's been there for 12 years and hasn't done anything. Neptune can be like, it's fine. You can still sit in the van. It's not a big deal that you're 30 years old and you're still trying to graduate from high school. It's fine. Yes, but no. I mean, you can't unsee that. You can't unknow that. However, Saturn comes and is like, first of all, your van doesn't even work. Second of all, this is pathetic. Third of all, do something about it. Grow the F up. That's the energy that we're feeling right now. And that's squaring off with Mercury too. So our ideas are not so pleasant. They're pleasant from the sun and the moon perspective, but they're not pleasant from other energies. Pleasant from it's from Venus on its own, but not when Pluto comes in and starts cutting her out out from the knees, and not so great squaring off with that grow up. You now can't unsee what you've seen, so you've got to do something about it. So that's the complication with this. The other complicating factor is that the collective soul destiny and the collective soul karma is in opposition or confrontation or challenge, however you want to say that, with the sun and the moon. The good news is that it's a pretty quick movement. The bad news is it's in the backdrop of all these other planetary energies. So in the collective, that means in the, larger energies, not just individually, we're stretching in ways that don't feel comfortable at all. We're looking at things and we're saying, yeah, that may have seemed like a really great idea. We could just kind of roll with it for the last year because Jupiter was in Gemini, but now, no. There's no good luck charm in ideas right now. There's no good luck charm in perspectives right now. But there's good luck charm in the way the heart feels. So this is why I've been saying the heart and the soul are leading. The mind is going into the back seat or in the passenger seat. This is one of the reasons why. And here we are, the full moon saying, yep, this is exactly what we have. So what can we do to be super helpful? Of course, we're going to do ritual, but the crystals really came in. That earthly energy wanted to be helping in grounding you so that you're not just pulled and pushed, like so you don't jump off the bridge, basically. So what came in is blue aragonite. With the blue aragonite, it's a really soothing stone. I mean, if you were to look it up online, it's this gorgeous light blue. So it just the color itself just soothes. What I love about it, I didn't grab blue lace agate. I didn't grab one of the yellow calcite or something. Those are also really soothing. This one has more oomph to it. It asks a little bit more of you. It says, yes, that's great that I'm going to help soothe your mind, but I'm also going to go into your emotional body because this is new. It's been 12 years since we've had Jupiter in Cancer. So it's been a while since we've had such a big energy in that sign. And Jupiter is a lot. Jupiter is super supportive, hence calling on blue aragonite, but it's not small. So if we haven't been in touch with our emotions, if we haven't been tapping into our desires, if we haven't been allowing our heart and soul to lead, this feels like a lot. And so we've got the mind muck going on with the sun and the moon and, Pluto beating up Venus because, yeah, they're actually fighting right now. And then Saturn basically sitting on Neptune and I mean, literally sitting on him and making him do his bidding. So I know it sounds kind of hilarious, but it's not comfortable. Those two things are not great. They're for our better good eventually, but right now it's like, oh, forget about it. Then blue aragonite, the crystal comes in and says, no worries. You're just going to be sitting in the little hammock with me. We're going to do this yummy ritual. You're going to feel much better. Don't try to swing for the fences. Let's look to see what we can do from a smaller perspective that's more realistic, not to minimize, but to make it real. And so that's blue aragonite. And then another crystal came in, and I haven't used these in a while, but it's the Chinese writing stone. It's not chrysanthemum stone. There's a difference. The chrysanthemum stone looks more like flowers. That one's much more about balance. The Chinese writing stone, the reason why I adore it and use it with my clients is because it's helpful to allow the soul to emerge. So it's almost like you can envision yourself sitting in, this say that hammock, right? And we're sitting there and we're like, okay, we feel soothed. We're able to open up our heart. We're able to get in touch with us deeply ourselves. But I'm not really sure. My mind's running amok a little tiny bit. And I don't really feel calm enough to sit in this silence. And guess what? I don't know if my soul's leading or if it's my imagination or, that doubt creeps in. Chinese writing stone is awesome. Chinese writing stone literally gives you the pen to say, here's what your soul wants to say. So, and I adore that. It's amazing. And together, we've got that beautiful hammock creation with the blue aragonite. And then we've got the Chinese writing stone saying, here, pen, paper, let's go. Let's look to see what comes up for you. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm not going to bring in any other energies. Yes, I was going to pull a card. I was going to look at flower essences. I was going to do the things. It was like, no, ixnay on all of that. You're going to you're gonna just talk about the stars and you're going to work with the crystals. Perfect. So as always, I love my listeners who are driving. You are not closing your eyes, but let's let the energy, really wrap around you. And it's going to come up through you too. So you can do this, even with your eyes open and you're paying attention to, things that you need to pay attention to. For everybody else who is in a spot that they can close their eyes, I want you to really sink into this. So, you're closing your eyes and you're thinking about, the entertainment of that imagery I gave you through the sun and the moon. And so we're looking at the sun and the moon like, "Oh, great, we're gonna take this big bad leap," right? We don't want it to be bad. And then we've got these other planets saying, "Yeah, we're not gonna let you be bad, like it be bad. We're gonna question. We're gonna have that feel good with the sun and the moon. We're gonna have that feel good with that mind for Mercury and that heart for Venus. We're gonna zhuzh that up and it's gonna be yummy." And we're also going to ask how you're being true to yourself, how you're really looking out for yourself in the future. There's Pluto. And we're going to see how you've been deluding yourself, but giving you the fortitude and the stamina in two ways. We're doing that through Saturn with Neptune, but we're also doing it because I didn't mention before that Mars in Leo is squaring off with Uranus and Taurus, and that's for lasting change. So you've got the stamina to do this too. So let's just have all of that energy. Your eyes are closed or you're driving and you are with eyes open, obviously, and you are now just letting all that stir. And we want to stir it starting from your belly. I don't usually start it here. I'll usually start it from either the top or the bottom of your body, but nope, this wants to start in your belly. What do you want to digest? Right? Like what is so satiating to you right now that you want to get more of it? Let's start with the senses and stir that up. This is Mars having a little bit of fun. And then what feels really good for you? What are the people that you're craving and the situations that you're desiring and the goals and the yearnings that you have, those longings? How do you want to create the life that you want to live? What is in your destiny? May it be a day from now or a week from now or a month or a year. How does your soul want to quicken And how does it want to talk to you? Let's get out those Chinese writing stones with like an imaginary pen and an imaginary journal and set yourself up at a beautiful desk in this like turret room if you want, or in a boardroom, or in a beautiful like hobbit house, or in a really sleek, beautiful spa-like atmosphere. Whatever feels really good for you to get in touch with yourself. And we're taking that energy from your belly and we're drawing it down with that Chinese writing stone, with that darker color. We are bringing that energy down to the ground. This is an incredibly grounding stone. And we're letting that situate ourselves here on Earth to make things real. And we're calling Saturn in to keep us on pace. And we're calling Mars in to give us the fortitude to make things real in our lives. And then when we go back to the belly, we're taking that beautiful white aspect. It's that creamy aspect of those Chinese characters in the stone. And we're envisioning like writing, like a tattoo in our imprint of us. What is true for us? What are our strengths and our talents and our gifts? What are our skills? And what are our strengths of our accomplishments? Let's literally envision that that is tattooed all over our aura, and it's written all over the walls, whatever sanctuary room we've put ourselves in. Let us call upon our solar plexus for power and that beautiful echo chamber that says yes. And then our heart, what is true for our desires as we begin to talk to the blue aragonite, for our clearing of our throat chakra so we can speak what is authentically real or genuine to us, so we can receive it, so we can go up to our ears so we can hear it, go up behind our heads so we can think it, go out to our third eye so we can sense it, and go up through that crown chakra, really connecting to the full spirit of who we are. And then we draw upon our essence. And we let that infuse a softness and a soothing and a calm. Because change is here. And we know it absolutely 100%. So let's direct that change and that which is most beneficial to us. Let our heart and our soul lead. Let our senses tingle with the truth. Do we go into this room or that room? Do we make this offer or that offer? Do we say yes to this person to work with or that person to work with? And we let the quickening happen and the stars to help us lead and open the right doors, the right windows, the right paths. Because when we are tattooed with our truth, those pathways become true. And they're as unique as you are. So just other words and story to wash over you. I've been saying a lot to people lately. Please get in touch with me if somebody wants to work with you in the business consulting or that intuitive business space. Because I will tell you the truth, whether it's a yes or a no. Because if they don't have your best interests at heart, and if your soul's not leading the agenda, they are not for you. So breathe in the yes for yourself to demand and command those experts to walk this journey with you. Let the gateways open from your soul's knowing. And breathe in the truth of this. And let this full moon open you up to the expansiveness of you without getting you over your skis, without leading you astray. Let you be on your right trajectory. Let's bring in your beautiful signature too and help you wear it. That beautiful, wise strategist, absolutely going to that blue aragonite energy, making things predictable even in their unpredictability. Let's bring that energy down to your feet so you feel like you're on terra firma. That Chinese writing stone for the intuitive visionary and the collaborative explorer for two different reasons. intuitive visionary to make their words, their utterances, their ideas come to be and land and have more weight. For the collaborative explorer to allow the truth that is tattooed on people to be seen by not only them, but by others as well. So it doesn't take so much energy for the collaborative explorer to be able to help others see. And then the ruling warrior, gorgeously going into that holly florescence of the month to allow them to let go of things that are no longer theirs. For that creative superstar going into that beautiful oracle card of the month, that delegate. Delegating to their past selves to wrap things up that are no longer finished. And just get them done or let them go. And to use that delegation in the present and in the future to put a timeline on so they don't feel overwhelmed. Then that loving alchemist, we're going to draw down into the earth because Pluto is here for you. How is your future to be written? Let's take some time to journal that. And for everyone, opening up this beautiful signature advantage that you have. If you haven't taken the quiz, go to your star map to success and take it. You want to know how you enter the world and what resonates true for you, and let all the other noise go away. In these quiet moments, when in the silent rendering of your space, let the truth arise. In these moments, bathing yourself with the stars and the stones, allowing these energies to be a support for you, to be another beautiful tool in your toolbox. Taking a nice deep breath in and exhaling. A deep breath in, expressing gratitude for this full moon, for the stars' energies, for the crystal support, for all the other magical tools, and the business acumen that is always infused within my words. Taking a final deep breath in. If you've had your eyes closed, go ahead and open them. If you have been driving, let's let these energies stir all around you. Let's feel your feet on the floor, your buttocks in your seat. And let your soul shine and the truth of your words be heard. Because you are such a vital part of this new era. And we are but 2 weeks away from the new era book that I have. It's coming out on the new moon on the 25th of June. And I am so excited. Reach out to me, Kim@kimwoods.com. If you want to hear more, you can go to neweramillionaire.com and find out the things. I'm doing a massive activation on that new moon. Something you don't want to miss. Because talk about your soul being a big yes to the yes, to the yes, to the yes, to the yes. We've made it. It's here now. Oh, I'm so excited. And with that, happy, happy, happy full moon. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more ways to use the stars strategically to align with your soul purpose, reclaim your power, and increase your prosperity. Please rate and review your favorite episodes, and remember to check out my website at kimwoods.com for my latest forecasts, articles, and offerings. To find out your intuitive success signature, take my 12-question Do You Know, Like, and Trust Yourself quiz and find out how you're living your stars at yourstarmaptosuccess.com. I've so enjoyed our time together, as it's filled with the power of the stars plus strategy to clear the pathway to your success. Until next time, happy soul tidings.